Hello all. So let us see today's session. So here we are going to see why the software process needs a framework, right? So I have told you that what is software process, what is software process development. We have also seen software engineering as a layered technology. So here we will see that what is exactly a framework required during the development of a software? Okay, so I will give you one example for framework. Suppose you know civil engineers, right? So what civil engineers do? They develop a construction plan. Okay, what do? They develop a construction plan, isn't it? So they develop a construction plan. So once when they develop that construction plan, they will easily come to know what is the area of the land, right? And how many floors you can construct on that specific land. They will also come to know how many rooms you can construct in one floor. Okay, and in that room what kind of interior can be established. So all this put together creates one construction plan. So what is the use of this construction plan? By making use of this construction plan, okay, we will get an idea that how the real apartment or how the real home will look like, isn't it? Are you getting? So a construction here is nothing but a framework. So using this framework, it becomes easy to identify to the owner that how many floors can be constructed or how many rooms can be constructed in one floor and what will be the interior of that house, isn't it? So when we want to develop a software, right, when we want to develop a software, by making use of a specific framework or a specific architecture, okay, we will come to know what is exactly our software. Okay, we will come to know how many modules needed to be established in our software. We will get an idea that how many different types of code or how many sections are needed in our software development. So when we want to develop a software, as I told you that we cannot accomplish that in a one shot or in one activity. The software, when we want to develop, it will be a collection of different parts of code, and then we integrate that code to produce our software. Okay, so this software framework helps us to identify the major parts of the software product. Okay, it will also help us to know how exactly the modules in the software product are to be designed or coded. Okay, so I will elaborate to you in more detail, right? Okay, so technically what a framework says, okay, a framework establishes the foundation for a complete software process. So as I gave you example of this construction plan, using this process framework you will exactly come to know, okay, how our software product will look like or what are the main components of our software product. So when we are going to build a software product, okay, remember that it contains of so many modules. The modules may contain sub modules where we write the code. Okay, so hope you are getting it right. Now by identifying, so how does this framework works? Okay, it processes by identifying small number of framework activities. Okay, so once when we decide to develop a software, we take a framework and then we find out what are the major activities of that software product, and then after identifying the activities in the software product, okay, so we go for the next layer in the framework. Okay, so after identifying the main modules of your software product, okay, so we will also identify what are the set of umbrella activities that are needed during the software process. Okay, so now this is a new term for you, isn't it? Umbrella activities. So guys, if you want to know more detail about this, just click over here. Okay, you will get the details about what are umbrella activities. Okay, so right now I will tell you that umbrella activities are the all set of activities, okay, that are carried out during the software development in different software models, right? So we will see all the umbrella activities one by one. Okay, so a process framework, what it will do, first it will identify all the major process. Okay, yeah, it will identify major activities, right? Then we also identify what are the another umbrella activities that are to be carried out to develop a software product, right? Okay, you know meaning of umbrella, right? So when you take umbrella in the rain, what will happen? Okay, you are under the umbrella and the rain is falling on the umbrella, and it means the umbrella helps you, okay, your entire area, your radius, whatever your radius is there, around that the water will not fall, isn't it? So it will help that entire radius to be covered, right, where the water is not going to fall, right? So why it is called as umbrella activities? Because it covers the entire area during the development for the specific module in the software product. Okay, all right, right. So here we are also going to identify all the umbrella, okay, activities, right? Then after identifying umbrella activities, okay, what we do is, okay, we go and we identify the different actions. Okay, we find what are the actions that are needed to be carried out under one module. Okay, and all those actions will again have a set of tasks. Okay, all these actions are accomplished by using a set of tasks. So this is one hierarchy here, guys. So what is that hierarchy? Okay, so the first hierarchy is we identify a framework. Okay, and second is under that framework we identify all the umbrella activities. Okay, then after identifying the major modules in the software product, we find out what actions are to be carried out in that module, and then we find out what are the individual tasks that are to be carried out, okay, that are needed to be carried out in that module, right? So we will see this in more detail, right, by seeing one example. So hope you will get a clear idea from that. Okay, so let us see one example here. Okay, so before seeing an example, once again I would like to tell you about the framework. So when it is asked in the examination about explain software process framework, okay, you can either draw this one, or one more is there, that also I will tell you. Okay, you can draw this architecture, or there is one more architecture. Okay, you can also go for this architecture, right? Yeah, so this is the second one. Okay, this is the second one, right? And this is the first one. Okay, so you can draw any one, no need to go for both of them, right? So these are the two architectures which are used for software process framework. Okay, sometimes they are also called as umbrella activities. Both means the same. Okay, so now I will elaborate to you in more detail. So let us take an example. Suppose I want to develop a software on online movie booking. We want to develop a software product for online movie booking. So this is the framework which is used for development of online movie booking. So that entire process, okay, whatever process framework is there, whatever process framework you are going to use, that contains, okay, as I told you, first it contains what, it find out all the major activities. Okay, it find out all the major activities that are needed to be carried out. Okay, so what are the major activities that are needed to be carried out? Let me tell you. Okay, so this is the first major activity. This is the first activity, all right, and this is the second activity. You can see that this is the second activity, right? So these are the two activities now. So activities which are under the framework. Okay, so these are the two major activities, and you can see that under each activity some action is performed. So what is that action? Okay, so under some activities, what do? Some actions are performed. If you see there, each activity will have an action. So activity 1 is having action 1.1, action 1.k. Similarly, activity, how many number of activities are there? Each activity will have some actions, and under that action you are going to perform some task. Okay, so what exactly this activity means? As I told you, suppose I take an example of online movie booking. So this is our software. So what exactly we do for online movie booking? So this is a process. Okay, so under that process we carry out so many activities. So these activities are considered as module. Each individual activity is considered as a module. So in that module we perform some actions, and those actions can be carried out by example with the help of this task set. Okay, you can see some task set like work task, work product, quality assurance point, and project milestones. Okay, so after completion of this action, what we are going to do? We are going to do all these tasks for individual action. So if we have n number of activities, for each activity we will have a set of actions. Okay, and each action will perform all these tasks. So they perform tasks for each individual activity, right? Suppose we have two activities in our software product. One is login and one is logout. We want to develop a code for suppose login, and another we want to develop a code for booking. Okay, so when we want to develop a code for login, so after that login module is ready, what we do? We perform all these tasks to check whether the login module is working correctly or not. Suppose this is login and suppose this is for logout, and this entire frame 1 activity. Okay, suppose we have this entire frame 1 activity. Suppose we have this frame 1 activity only to perform what? Login. Okay, suppose we have to perform login, right? So in login, what you are going to do there? In login, what we do? Okay, so as I told you, suppose we want to perform a, let us take this as what? Log module. Okay, suppose here the customer is going to log. So once when the customer wants to log in, right? Suppose this is the entire area for login. So what happens in the log module? In the log module, okay, so first action is what? Login, and second action is logout. So suppose I want to write the code for login and logout. So that login will have all these activities performed, then logout will also have all these activities performed. Okay, so this is one action, or you can say that one activity of our online booking. Okay, suppose we have a second activity. What is that second activity? Suppose we have a movie booking. Second activity is all about movie booking. Suppose this second activity is about booking tickets, right? So we have the second option about booking the tickets. Okay, so let us take this module. Okay, so what it is doing? It is going to book the tickets, right? Okay, so in this booking ticket module, we can see that one is for what? Booking the tickets, another action is for cancelling the tickets. So when we write code for booking the tickets, we go for so many tasks. When we want to cancel the tickets, we also go for so many tasks. So hope you are understanding now. Suppose I want to develop an online movie booking system. Okay, so that has to undergo, okay, our framework has to undergo, okay, so many activities. So what are those activities? Activities will be here. I can take activities as a modules. Each module will have its own actions. Okay, so they will perform its different actions, and actions are also accomplished with the help of the tasks. Okay, so hope this architecture is understood to you. So there is one more architecture. So in examination you can go for any of them. Okay, so I will also tell you the second one, but this is more detailed, this architecture. Okay, so this is a bit, you can say that this is a detailed one. This architecture, as I told you, you can just see, right? It is a detailed, right? So we'll see one more architecture, which is outer view of this detailed architecture. Okay, so we'll continue with that. Alright, so you can see here there is one more architecture, and this is quite the smallest, or you can say this is the outer view of that main architecture. Okay, so what is our software process framework? Our software process framework, right? So what does it have? Our software process framework will have a set of activities, right? So that is called as a framework activities. Each activity will have some action. Each action is performed by using some task. So what are those tasks performed under each activity? This is task. What exactly, how the product is constructed, what were the milestones during the development of a product, okay, and then what are the SQA points. So that is, okay, software quality assurance. So these are the task set. So these are performed for every module. These are performed for every activity, and then you can say that your software is ready. So when a software framework is applied for any of the software product, what happens here? Each framework will identify the main activities of your software product. Each activity is identified or divided into an action. Each action is carried out by accomplishing all this task set. So whenever it is asked to you to write in the exam, you can go for any one architecture, this or the first one. You can go for any of the architecture which you feel easy, right? So now I will give you one example on this, exactly how the framework is. Okay, so we will see an example of online movie booking. Okay, so we'll go for that example. Okay, so here you can see the example. So this is an example of, this diagram is called as a class diagram, okay, of online movie booking. So this class diagram, it will show you the internal working of your software product. Suppose what is our software here? Our software is online booking, okay, online movie booking, exactly I'm going to say. This is an example of online movie booking. So that is our software product. So these are all the activities of our software product. So which are called as what? Module. See, we have a module called as a movie, admin, visitor, registered user, book ticket, and make payment. Okay, so you can see that our software product is made up of so many modules here. Okay, so each box is one module here. So each box which you will see, it is one class. Okay, so in that class you can see that there are some methods and we have some variables. Okay, so for example, let us take movie, right? So when I go for movie, right, so when I go for this movie, okay, so you can see that in movie we have got so many activities or so many actions that are carried out. We have update details, okay, then we have movie name, movie show, venue, right? So movie is one module here, and this module, okay, will have a set of actions, right? So what is the action to be performed here? Update details, right? Similarly, we have another this one module, that is book ticket. So in book ticket, what you are going to do, you are going to fix the show timing and all, and then you are going to update your seat number, right? Then we have admin. So admin, one who will take care of all the bookings and payments. So we have a detail of a visitor. Then if you are already a registered user, right, so their details are already available with the movie theater software, right? Then there is one more module which will take care of making the payments. Okay, so when I want to develop, right, so when I want to develop, right, so when I want to develop a software on online movie booking, right, so when I want to develop a software on online movie booking, here you can see that it is a collection of different modules, right? So it is a collection of different activity. So each activity is going to perform some action. Each module is going to perform some action, and then some task set are also executed to see whether each module, okay, is doing its work correctly or not. So what we are going to do here, we are going to check module by module. Okay, we are first going to develop a movie module, and then we are going to follow the framework. We are going to execute all the tasks set and check whether this module is built correctly or not. In the same way, we will go for all the modules one by one. Okay, and then we are going to check whether these modules are working correctly or not. And once when we find that these modules are working correctly, okay, so finally what we do, we integrate all the modules, and then we can say that our software product is ready to be deployed to the customer. Okay, so hope you are getting the points now. See, so these are the actions. Okay, so these are the actions, right, so which are carried out in this module. So suppose we have a book ticket, this is one module, right, or you can say that this is one activity. So what all actions are performed in this activity? So I will tell you what actions are performed under this activity. Okay, so just see this diagram. Suppose customer logs in, okay, and what he will do when he want to book the ticket, he will request for booking. The booking happens, okay. If booking happens successfully, he will get a notification that booking is successful, else it will give us a failure notification. Whatever changes are there, that is applied into the software of the movie theater, and then finally it goes to the end process. So hope you are understanding now what exactly the framework is all about. Okay, so in framework what do we do? So in framework, okay, so this is one more diagram, right? So this is also called as activity diagram. So when I want to select a movie, right, so I can select a movie, right, then I can select the movie timings, I can go for seat, and then I can make the payment and all the other things, right? So this is also called as activity diagram. So it will show us, okay, how do you perform, right, or what actions are done during the framework, right? So hope you understood that. Hope the framework, software process framework is clear to you, right? So what do we do exactly in the framework? Okay, so the software process framework, right, it is divided into n number of activities, that is modules. Each activity will have some actions, right? So each process activity will have some actions, right? So each module will have some actions that are needed to be performed. So the ultimate during the development of our software process is that, so under the framework we identify the major activities, that is modules, and what actions are needed to be performed. Okay, what actions are needed to be performed under these activities. Okay, so hope this is clear to you. So to understand this framework, okay, I have given you an example, but there's no need to write example in the examination. You can just draw this framework, or you can draw this, any one framework you can draw, and this is the explanation which you need to write in the exam, okay, when it comes for 5 marks. Okay, just go for this, right? Then generic process of framework, this is nothing but what? Generic process of a software development. These all points you already know. Then you can draw a framework, okay, then you can draw a framework, right? So all this data will be available to you, right? Now this is all about what? The software process framework. Okay, so we also have something called as what? Umbrella activities, right? So let me tell you in detail about what are the umbrella. Hello class, so as I told you in this session, after completion of the software engineering layer and software process framework, we will go for the software process framework continued with umbrella activities. Okay, so in the framework we saw that what are exactly the umbrella activities, isn't it? So what are umbrella activities? Okay, so umbrella activities are nothing but what? These are also a part of framework, okay, which are carried out throughout the software development process. Okay, we carry out so many umbrella activities during the software development process. So initially what we do, we find out the activities, and under that activities we find out what are the actions to be performed, and then each action has to undergo these task set. They have to complete all these activities, right? They have to complete all these activities, and meanwhile they have to also go under all the other activities which are called as umbrella activities. Okay, so let me tell you in detail what are the umbrella activities. Okay, so you can see one diagram here, isn't it? So by seeing this diagram, okay, so here in this diagram I will elaborate you. So we have some activities like see here it is categorized. Okay, we have some activities like measurements, okay, formal reviews, quality assurance, configuration management, document preparation, reusability management, measurements and matrices, project tracking and control. Okay, so you can see that all these activities are carried out back to back. So during the development of a software, when we divide the software into certain modules, right? So we saw one example on online movie booking. So in that online movie booking, what we saw was it contains 4 to 5 modules. Like it has a movie module, it has a visitor module, admin module, right? We have a payment module, and along with that we have a booking module. So at the time of development of each of the module, okay, when we want to develop this module, we see whether it satisfies all the other activities, whether the software or whether that specific module is built correctly or developed correctly, right? So when we go for checking these modules one by one, same at the meanwhile we also find out other activities like whether it is working properly or not, what are the measures that are to be taken. So all this together are called as what? Umbrella activities, right? So let us see all these activities one by one. Alright, so let me tell you about all the umbrella activities one by one. Okay, so you can see here the first activity. Okay, so the first activity, I hope yeah, it will take second number here, no issues. Okay, so in this activities you can see that software project tracking and control. Okay, software project tracking and control. So what does it means? During the development of a software product, okay, suppose there are 4 to 5 modules in this product, right? During the establishment or development of each individual model of this software product, okay, every time during the designing or during the coding or during the testing, under the umbrella activity, under this activity, we perform regular checks. So what are those regular checks? Okay, so when plan, task, models all have been done, then a network of software engineering tasks will enable to get the job done on time, okay, and will have to be created. So by using this activity, that is software project tracking and control, what happens every time each module is tracked and controlled. So tracking in the sense whether what requirements are brought from the customer during the development, whether all these requirements are converted into design and code. Okay, so simultaneously after designing the module, during performing of action and task, when those actions are performed, when we write all the code and when we do testing and all other activities for that module, simultaneously tracking is done. Okay, so that is the first umbrella activity. Okay, so we have the next umbrella activity, that is formal technical reviews. Okay, so what is formal technical review? So these includes, okay, so formal technical review, what do they do? Okay, so I'll tell you this. Okay, so in this review, right, so this is a major one. So what happens here? So during the formal technical reviews, this includes reviewing the techniques that have been used in the project. So when certain techniques are used, okay, so it may be any technology or it may be any use of any tool, So they always keep on tracking, okay, and reviewing what are the tools that are used or what are the techniques that are being used during the development of your project. Okay, so we do all these activities simultaneously. Okay, during the development of each module, what do? We keep on tracking, right? We keep on performing these activities one by one. Okay, so the next activity is about SQA. What is SQA? SQA is all about what? Software quality assurance. Okay, so all these activities, okay, all these task set are performed under the umbrella activities. So these are different task set, or you can say a range of tasks which are performed during umbrella activities. Okay, so all these activities are called as umbrella activities. So these activities are performed under the software, or you can say that these activities are performed in the software process framework under umbrella activities, or we can say that these are the task set, these are the major task set which are to be performed, okay, during each activity, right? Now let me tell you about what is software quality assurance. Okay, so in software quality assurance, see, as the name itself indicates that each module or the software product that you are going to develop should provide you the quality. Okay, so that is all about software quality assurance. So certain measures are taken, some actions, or you can say that some tasks are executed here to check whether the software is a quality software or not. Some activities are also carried out here to check whether that software is a quality software or not. For example, suppose you are asked to give a feedback of any of the faculty member. So depending on your feedback, sometimes the faculty members are judged whether they are correct or whether they are good or not. So depending on that feedback, we will do some analysis, right? So we will get to know the quality of teaching, right? So in case if you give bad feedback by some other factors, by noticing some other factors, that is not the justice actually. So we have some tools also to judge, okay, the quality of a software, right? So the next task is SCM. It is also called as SCM, that is software configuration management. So this is again very important task, okay, which is carried out as an umbrella activity. Okay, so it is used to control, right, the change by identifying the work product that are likely to change. In software configuration management, we configure the software products in such a way that they are adaptable for the new changes, or they can easily adapt with the new coming changes according to the market needs, right? So we also take care of that during the software development. Okay, so that is all about SCM, that is software configuration management, right? So the next one, that is documentation, preparation and production. So during each activity we compulsorily document what all activities are carried out. Okay, so next, reusability management. So during the creation of a software module, we also take care that each module is reused somewhere, right? Then measurement and matrices. So we have certain matrices. Depending on that matrices, we will identify whether the software is designed correctly, whether it is a quality product, or it is meeting all the needs of customers. And the last factor is risk management. So what is the risk management? So it is identification of possible risk with the system. Okay, so this has also got some plan to identify what may be the risk coming with the system. Okay, so all right guys, so this is all about umbrella activities which comes, okay, under the software process framework. So please go through this in detail and see you. Bye bye.